Welcome to In Moderation,
the show where we give you a moderate dose of info, sarcasm, and we already know we're not approved.
All right, sweet. Well, yeah, we don't really have plans or anything with this. We just bring you on, chat, talk about whatever. If you ever feel like talking about something, just talk about it. Bring it up randomly. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Wait, here's the first one I'll go for you, Liam. What's the best protein bar? You know, like that was my original wheelhouse on TikTok.
What's the best protein bar is how we're starting off today on In Moderation. Welcome to episode 69 again.
we have good old episode 69. Yep.
We have former Fat Guy Fitness on the channel. Is podcast a channel? Is it on the podcast?
I call it a channel.
They're all channels. Everything's a channel if you want it to be. It doesn't matter. Anyway,
I mean, it's a YouTube channel. I guess that works.
Besides, curious about protein bars and what your favorite and my favorite is. Oh, how you doing? How you doing?
Man. I'm doing good. Much like you, I run a pretty busy schedule. It keeps me out of trouble. It keeps me moving forward in life. So that's what I try to do. I know I probably drive my girlfriend nuts with how much I'm working and how much I try to keep busy. But it's good for you.
Yeah. So I mean, tell us about yourself though. Like, what do you do on the channels?
On the channels, I do pretty much anything food and weight loss related. Like I lost 120 pounds, and I hopped on social media just kind of wanting to help people and try to turn social media into a career. Mm-hmm. And I kind of got the original kickoff by having reviews become really, really popular by making a lot of stupid, dirty jokes.
Yeah, definitely see a lot of those.
Jumped into recipes. People really enjoyed the recipes. Did, just kind of general Q&As and just kind of, I try to stick in the food nutrition world, even though honestly I have the education of a gnat when it comes to that kind of a thing. I just share my own personal experience with it, and people find it to be relatable and helpful. So I've been pretty lucky to do it.
The people, they do love that. And also, you don't need much. I mean, a gnat's education is really all you need to do food reviews. I know that because I do them.
I mean, as long as you can say that's yummy or that's yucky, you're doing pretty good. You're doing pretty good.
I mean, but to be honest, like people like, you see all these like, people like, and they're often like selling these things like it tastes amazing. And they're always, you always get that, I don't know about this. So to have somebody else be like, actually, it kind of tastes like wet sandpaper. And
I had that today. I put out a video today of the new Alpha Prime Bites banana nut, and
people keep asking me to review those. What's up with the Alpha Prime? What's up with the brownie bite things? Whatever. Is it Alpha Prime? Alpha Prime.
Okay, so and those of you that don't know, like my thing is cost, macros, taste. Let's do this thing. So I go over the cost, the macros, and the taste of every product because I start with cost because for many people, like myself included, when I started was, can you afford it? Like, is it something you can work into a regular budget?
If you can't afford it, then there's no point. The rest of it's useless.
It's $40 for a 12-pack. It's $3.33 for a single snack. No, I'm not lying. I gave it the bite me out of 10 score, dude. Like, I'm not paying that for a protein snack. I'm just not.
I still don't believe you. Wait, hold on. So
$40 for a 12-pack.
40 freedom units for 12 individual like.
Exactly. Is this company run by Bobby?
I bet you money he probably has a stake in it. I would think so. And with how much I looked them up today, you would expect that. Yeah, they're probably run by Bobby.
They probably have sucralose, so there's no way he could put his name on it. Oh God, that's okay. Sorry, that's going to be tough for me to get past for the rest of this. For the rest of this podcast.
For a protein bar, you want it to be extremely dense in protein. Like you want it to, not hit you too heavily in the calories. You want to get your protein while you're on the go or when you're busy, or if you want that sweet treat. So it's okay on the macro sense, but then you get to the taste, and it tastes like you're biting into the Springfield chemical plant that Homer worked at. Like it is a straight bite of chemicals, dude. And don't get me wrong, I'm not against the artificial sweeteners. Like
we're not saying like people say chemicals, but like we're just saying like it has that taste to it.
It has that taste. I'm not even against that taste. I'm drinking a Diet Coke. I drink artificial sweeteners on a regular basis, but it is so excessively chemical tasting. I can't get behind it.
Too much of anything is a problem, and too many chemicals. That's the problem.
As you say, everything in moderation. Shameless plug for the podcast, but
everything.
Plug the podcast on the podcast.
Well, of course. If you've never heard of us before, that's weird. But I would like. So I want to do like a quick thing through because the cost macros taste. Okay, so like we'll get back to this, but okay. So the cost. How much do you think is like reasonable for like let's say a protein snack, not even a bar, could be, whatever. Like,
I
what do
would
you? What,
say so. I mean, like my 10 score is $1 or under for a protein snack. Tens
that's
are
fair.
hardly achievable. Like that's a Kirkland protein bar.
The
Cost
Kirkland protein. I
effective.
was just gonna say, I like those. If Costco. If you don't know what Kirkland is, Costco. Kirkland is Costco. Costco's
Yeah.
Kirkland.
Yeah, Costco, Kirkland, Costco. They go hand in hand. But that's extremely rare. To expect that on everything, you're not going to do that. So
Right.
I would say $2 a bar is like that's my average price. Like that's about what you're looking at. Once you get above that $2 a bar, then you're looking at like, okay, you really better be worth it. And then if you get into that $3 or higher range, that's like a 3, a 2, a 1 out of 10. It's not worth
I
it.
can't. Yeah, I couldn't see myself doing
Canadians
that.
over here listening,
Yeah,
being like,
yeah, I'm
bars
sorry.
exist under $5?
I'm so sorry, Rob.
But that's in Monopoly money, so that's a little different.
Pretty much.
Okay, so we look for generally $1 to $2. I think that's fair. Like your what's it? Your Robert Irving. I always say Irving, and people get so mad at me. Irvin or whatever his name. The Fit Crunch.
Robert,
Those are like $1.50. I find typically around there.
Yeah.
At least where we are, and like that's reasonable. And the Kirkland bars, and then the pure protein. I feel like if you go to like Walmart, you can get pure protein for like around $1 a bar. It's usually a little bit more.
Yeah,
that's
about
pretty
so.
good.
Yeah, I would say like when it comes to cost, top 3 brands are Kirkland, Pure Protein, and Fit Crunch. Cost effective, good taste, good macros. Like Fit Crunch isn't the best macros, but if you're really dying for that, go to Pure Protein. That's why I look at those 3 factors, because you're never going to get a perfect score on all 3 of them. Like
Right.
do you want a cheap bar that has really good macros? Then go to Pure Protein. Do you want a cheap bar that tastes really good but doesn't have the best macros? Then Fit Crunch is your guy.
Right. Definitely.
What makes me
let's
sad,
go.
speaking of pure protein? I sent Liam maple.
Oh yeah, you did.
I did. Yeah. Did you actually try those?
I have them in my drawer right next to me. I could do a live review. You keep talking.
You may have gotten one of the last boxes of those. They seem to have discontinued them.
There's the maple's done. Oh, here they are. Look at that.
There you go.
It's in
there
the
you go.
drawer. So here,
Okay,
review
here we
this
go.
for me.
Live cost macros taste.
Former Fat Guy Fitness. It's 190 calories and 19 grams of protein.
That's a 10 on the CTP. What's the fiber and sugar content?
So then, fiber fit. So Pure Protein is not known for their fiber.
Not at all.
It's sorry. It's also in French here, so I'm a little confused.
It probably says what, fibre or something like that.
They spell it fibres or fibres, which is 0 grams, 0 grams of fiber.
Yeah.
And then 3 grams of sugar and 9 grams of sugar alcohols, which some people sugar alcohols that can kind of mess with their digestion.
Yeah, it can kind of screw with your gut a little bit. I thank the Lord I'm not one of those people.
Oh God, that would be terrible.
I would probably give that a 7 on macros.
It like
right
melted.
Where you want for,
it totally, definitely melted on its way. But you know what?
Well, I mean, it's used to being in Canada. When it got across the border, it was like, oh God, it's hot.
How is it?
That is chewy.
That
is
so.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Wow, that is even chewier than I'm used to. You guys talk for like 10 minutes so I can finish this bite. If that's cool.
Yeah, that might be what it takes on that one, honestly. Actually, did you ever try the Snickers high protein bar? Like
I've never.
I have. Yeah.
It is the chewiest damn bar I have ever chewed in my life.
It does
well,
kind of
apparently
taste
I
like
need
maple.
to send you these ones.
Yeah, the maple one.
These are 10 out of 10 on the chew.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta ask though, does it taste good? Like the chew usually doesn't prevent the taste being good.
Definitely chemically, definitely artificially.
Yeah.
Like the flavor's like a 5 out of 10. It's like mid for a protein bar. Like it's like, if you're comparing it to like a candy bar, it's like a 1. But on like the protein bar scale, it's like, okay, I'm not. Yeah, those are not my favorite.
Yeah, I can believe that. People, you got to look at it at 2 different levels. Like you can never compare a protein bar to a candy bar. Like that's you're setting yourself up for heartbreak when you do that.
Right, exactly. Different scale. Okay. Yeah. So we've got that. What about the macros though? So yeah, we generally want like 1 gram per like 10 calories, right? So if it's 200 calories, like 20 grams of protein, right? Somewhere around there.
That's like the ideal range. So I mean, that what I would say is right where you want it to be. Then because it has no fiber, that would like dock it a little bit. And like the added sugars, I usually don't worry too much about that unless it's like a MedRx bar where there's like 20 grams of added sugar. That would really ding it down. But no, that I would give it like a 7 or a 7.5. Good source of protein. Wish it had some more fiber, but it's respectable.
Got it. Okay. So
Yeah.
like the Fit Crunch is like 200 or 190 calories and I think 16 grams of protein. So it's like not quite there, but still not terrible.
Yeah, that would probably get like a 6.5 or so. I mean, it's not amazing, but it doesn't fail. Like I look at things at like on a school grade sense. Like if it gets a 6, D's get degrees. D's get
I
degrees
like
around
that.
here.
There
So
you go.
We are fans of that here at In Moderation. We set the bar low.
yeah, I like it, man. I like it.
Okay. And then obviously, okay, so what are the best, I guess, we could say like, what are the best like macro ones? So yeah, like pure protein, Kirkland is still like really good, like, 21 grams of protein per 200 calories ish.
10 grams of fiber too, man.
And 10 grams. Right. Some of the bars, like, okay, I will tell you, listen, we have to discuss this. This is something this must need discussed, which is
Disgust or disgust?
Disgust.
Could
It's
be
both,
both.
actually, now that
It
I'm about
is.
to say what I'm going to say, is the no-cal bars. Now, here's the thing with no-cal bars.
Yeah.
They taste terrible.
They do.
They're awful tasting. Yet, for some reason, like there's a flavor behind it that is oddly addicting to me that I just kind of keep going back. Now, the texture is awful. It tastes like wet sandpaper. I don't recommend anyone buy them unless you're like vegan and you're like really looking for something. You need like a vegan bar.
Mhm.
But for some reason, I like the coat. They have the chocolate coated one, which is like a better, still not good.
Yeah.
Less bad. All right, it's less bad. Let me put it that
That's
way.
the way to put it.
It's less bad, and I like it because it's got 16 grams of fiber in it, which is like insane. It's almost got 1 gram per like that's like protein
It's insane.
macros.
Like on the macro score, that is I think one of the only bars I think I gave a 10 out of 10 because it had so much fiber and it's
so much,
protein
and it's got
content was
great
so good.
protein. Exactly. So like I add that to my rating where I'm like, this still doesn't taste great, but I love the macros. The flavor is strangely addicting, and it's not super expensive. It's not great either. It's kind of mid for price. So yeah, I like the like chocolate covered peanut. They have like a peanut butter chocolate covered one. So yeah, I don't recommend it unless you're vegan. If you are vegan, I will say though, what is there's like Nugo.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
Nugo's
Nugo.
good. Nugo's good. I've tried that before. The protein isn't
Never
the
heard
best
of
in
it.
the world, but it's a good balance of having.
It's only
a good
got
taste while being
the
vegan.
standard only has 12 grams of protein, but the Nugo Slims have 16 or 17, so it's just like a Fit Crunch. And those ones I like. I would say if you're looking for a vegan bar, that's probably your best bet.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, that's just I had to throw that out there.
Just had to get that out there because
I had to
I
get
made a
that.
video with Bella one time where we
Yeah.
tried a no cow. We had to question Liam's taste buds a little bit.
Listen, it's one of those things. We all have those things we know that are very like. I also like licorice. I don't recommend people try licorice, but for some reason I find the flavor addicting. I keep going back to licorice.
I'm with you. I like licorice. I can respect that one.
But right, you understand why other people don't like it though, right? Like that's licorice is something you're like, I get why people don't like this, but
Either
I do.
you love it or you hate it or you
Exactly.
kind of like
Black licorice is
guiltily
ass.
enjoy it.
That's what it is.
Exactly. People hate black licorice, and I get it, but I still like it. We're getting off the topic of protein. So then the final category is taste. So like, what are your best? This is the most important, right? Taste. Well, I guess cost is more important. After that, what are the best tasting bars in your opinion?
The best tasting bars. Okay, so I would have to go. See, originally it was Barebells, but actually my love for Barebells has waned for a couple reasons. Like I'm dead convinced you could blindfold me and put all their flavors in front of me, and I won't be able to tell the difference. They
could
all
see
taste
Really?
the same to me.
that. They do
all have
taste
that
similar.
maltol sweetness that overpowers everything, and then the flavor that goes alongside of it is so minimal that you can hardly tell the difference. It doesn't mean it's a bad bar, but the brand is boring. That's me being a picky little whiny boy about it. It's just boring.
Well, I mean, when you buy different flavors, you want different flavors.
I mean, if your job is to review things, you kind of have to be picky. That's like sort of the gig.
That's kind of the job. It really is. If I had to pick one bar though that I've enjoyed the variations on it and it tastes so good, it's unfortunately one we don't have in the States. It's Grenade Bar. Grenade
You don't
Bar.
have that in
Yeah.
the States?
No.
I have it here in Columbus. They sell
Do
it
you?
at they sell grenade bars at one grocery store. There's only one grocery, and like I think maybe
Really?
GNC has it.
Yeah, the only time I've ever gotten it is I ordered it off Amazon for an ungodly price of like $4 a bar because it was overseas shipping. And then I got it from a company called Flake Marketplace. They sent me a care package. But I look everywhere I go. Like the salted caramel, the fudged up, like all their flavors are so
Grenade bars
unique,
are really good.
and they're
That's
incredible.
funny because I can. That's one of the bars I can literally actually just go down the street and get.
One of us will have to send you some.
Yeah, you can't get stuff up in Canada. You have a one up on us finally.
Finally, Yeah.
I guess it just depends on where you live in the States too. I don't know. That's interesting.
Yeah, I would
But
say that.
is
I mean, I'm in Houston.
Grenade,
Right now, so.
they don't have much fiber, right? Like that's like a lower fiber one, if I recall
Yeah. The
correctly.
macros on it, you're basically just getting protein. It would probably have the same issue that I would have with Barebells. Like Barebell bars lead me to binge. That's why I look for fiber in my bars
Yeah.
because they slow me down from binging food. That was always my biggest
That's
issue. Still
fair.
is to this
That's
day.
fair.
Barebells sent
I
me a care package of their hazelnut nougat, and that box did not make it past 12 hours.
They're still my favorite bar. Like I like Grenade a lot, but the Creamy Crisp by Barebell is the only bar I would say I've ever had that I'm like, this, you could trick me into thinking this is a candy bar. If there was no packaging and you just gave it to me, I would say, oh, okay, that's a candy bar. Not an amazing candy bar, but like a good solid candy bar. That's the only one I've ever had.
Yeah.
That's like that.
You're making me wonder if Barebells actually ships to Canada. Probably not.
Most
not.
like just
That's
like
my
most
luck.
things.
Like we have the same issue like in Ecovision is like everybody asks like, hey, do you ship, over to Canada or this, that, the other thing? And it's like, sorry, we just don't right now. It's not that we
No.
hate you guys, but
You got to
I
get
think
like, the
shipping hates
special
us.
fancy license shipping so that it's actually cost effective.
Yeah.
Because otherwise
Lame.
you're paying $20-$30 to ship just a little thing.
It's not worth it. It's like
No.
like you just said, go down the street, get yourself a grenade bar. You're still getting something good at a way better cost.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that kind of wraps up protein bars pretty good. So we got, Kirkland brand. The taste isn't great, but if you're looking for something more affordable and good macros, Thick Crunch tastes better, less great macros, still pretty good, more candy bar-esque. And then like Pure Protein is just kind of your solid, like cheaper, these pretty good macros, tastes okay. I will say they have like a Girl Scout cookie one that's tougher to find, but I like that one a lot.
Yeah. If I had to pick 2 bars to say that are my undisputed kings of like all around cost, macros, and taste, the Quest Heroes cookies and cream bar.
Holy shit! I totally forgot about Quest Hero. That's so good.
150 calories, 18 grams of protein, tons of fiber, relatively cost effective. You can find them almost anywhere, and the taste is bomb.
Yeah.
That is my
Almost
number
anywhere
one.
but Canada.
I like the blueberry cobbler more even. They have a cookies and cream and blueberry cobbler.
Dude.
Blueberry cobbler's so good.
That's right there. That is probably my undisputed king protein bar. But if you like get pure protein, the chocolate, the chocolate peanut caramel. That is probably my favorite pure protein bar.
I don't know. I've seen chocolate peanut butter, but I don't know if I've seen chocolate
peanut caramel. It actually has this nice soft gooey caramel layer on top that actually makes pure protein
That's a good one. Yeah.
Okay.
Those are my top 2.
Okay, so yeah, good. Always good to have that. All right, so yeah, now you got some options for bars. What else? I guess we go to like drinks, like protein, like shakes. Like what do we go to?
Okay.
What do you feel like? What do you feel like?
So so I'm kind of the weird guy. I don't like through my weight loss and everything that I did. I never did protein shakes ever because I can't. Say, I was the guy that made protein desserts and protein recipes like with protein powders. But I did review a bunch of protein shakes, and there's only one that it's worth it to me, and it's hard to find. It's the Fairlife Nutrition Plan. I go to the Costco Business Center, and I will buy those out by the case, and I'll stockpile them for like 3 months. And just
Fairlife Nutrition. Wait, just like regular, like the little ones with the chocolate or vanilla or whatever.
The little white ones that are 150 calories, 30 grams of protein.
Yes.
The Fairlife Nutrition. They're a 10 out of 10. They taste like straight chocolate milk.
They just taste like chocolate milk.
They do.
By far the best. Like Premier Protein, all the other stuff kind of has that artificial chemically taste that's just
like even the
Fairlife
Power has that issue. Like it's good, but it's not great. So the only protein shake I buy is I have one alternative: the Premier Protein chocolate peanut butter. That one is fantastic. If you haven't,
that's what I have. They sent me Premier Protein sent me that, and it was like it's okay, but it's still got that like artificially taste that just kind of throws me off.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, like that's the thing, like I tell people is when you're going for protein shakes and protein powders, it is so dense on the protein level, you're never going to escape the protein taste. You're not.
Yeah. Except for
Fairlife,
which uses ultra filtered milk, which is where they separate out basically the parts like lactose, everything, and then recombine or reconstitute it in the right ratios. And that's why it doesn't taste like protein powder, because there is no protein. It's just milk.
You better look out for the microplastics that are in those things. With the comment.
I saw them talking about that. But like, what was interesting is like because that was by Consumer Reports, and Consumer Reports like they never really give the levels. There was just like more or less.
Yeah.
And if you look at a lot of other things that you're eating, like it's not even like you have like a a burger from like a fast food place, it's still like 4 or 5 times what you'd get
Oh,
from
absolutely. And the
like
study that's being referenced in my comment sections lately, I mean, if you actually go look at the study, there are so many other more commonly eaten foods that have like
yes,
3, 4 times, like peaches, like
right.
canned peaches had four
Yeah.
Canned
times the
peaches,
level of
yeah,
heat.
that was well,
Oh
that was
God,
one.
don't ever eat peaches. Don't ever eat all these other things. But it's Fairlife is the problem. Like it's awesome. Gotta love it.
And it's all about balance. Like, I'm not. How are you drinking like dozens of them a day? Like, come on. Yeah,
No,
I
no,
just
yeah. It's once again, let's plug the podcast. Moderation, people.
in
Moderation.
moderation. What you should not have in moderation is what I just tried for a video right before this. Owen is a vegan protein shake,
That as bad as I think it is.
and it's worse actually than
Oh
you think
God.
it is.
Really?
Yeah, I got the no nut buttercup, which is a name that they decided to call it, and.
Wow.
Yes, no nut, no nut.
No nut.
Because it's top 8 allergen friendly. Which, if so, I guess if you're allergic to like everything, then and
Yeah.
this is your only option, then sure, it's an option. It's got 32 grams of protein. That's great. And it's even got 6 grams of fiber. Love that. Love everything except the taste. Oh, and the price is also expensive. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah, I saw the
that's
price on those. They're pretty unreal. I mean, if I don't care how good the macros are or even the cost, if you
Yep.
can't stomach it, no.
It's rough.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna drink them because I paid so much for them. But yeah, that's gonna probably do it.
Mhm.
They're
That's
going to
gonna
go
do it.
down about as well as your gut shots.
Oh, the immunity shots. Yeah, I tried
Immunity
those
shots.
recently for a video. Yeah, those are.
Were they
I-
like homemade gut shots or?
Yeah, you make them out of like a ton of ginger, lemon, and like an orange and like turmeric.
That does not sound good.
It's not.
That
Like, I
sounds
don't think it's
horrible.
made to taste good. It's made to, I don't know,
Well, I mean,
make you
that's
hate
kind of why
yourself.
it's a shot. You're supposed to just
Yeah.
down it and
It's like the
grimace.
healthy version of a whiskey, basically. Like down it, hold your nose, and get it over with.
That's how I
Yeah.
feel like apple cider vinegar. It's like, that'll help you lose weight because you feel like shit. It makes your stomach so upset
I
you
would
just don't
actually
eat
get,
any
like that's a
food.
good question I would
Yeah.
have because I'm a nutritional idiot, honestly. Like, is apple cider vinegar even remotely healthy or like beneficial outside of like the myths
There
I've heard
have been
about it?
some studies showing with people with diabetes, it can possibly improve blood sugars. But like that's
via
only like,
slowing gastric emptying. Yeah.
yeah, and
Okay, okay.
that's like a couple studies. But like for weight loss, it just makes your stomach upset, so you don't want to eat anything.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's pretty much it, at least from what I've seen.
And like,
And like,
there's if you have any vinegar that has the mother in it, it is going to contain probiotics, but to a small degree.
it's such
Yeah.
a small amount. Like I've got some kimchi in the fridge. I'd rather just fucking a little bit of that on a plate. Damn.
Yeah, I can feel that.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Any other ones that you review a lot of that you want to talk about? Like I'm just kind of leaving it up to you.
I guess like for, as far as reviews go, I would say like the undisputed king, for all time protein snack on the market is the Quest chip. Like it's the most expensive one that I regrettably am willing to pay for. Way
Yeah,
too much.
Quest chips, a loaded taco.
I literally just ate
I already
that
ate
before I
mine.
hopped on the
Yeah.
podcast.
Loaded taco. I'm telling you, and what's nice is like I'm sure you've done it before. Like you make a some
Guac
kind of
taco.
like meal with like ground beef or whatever, tomatoes,
Yep.
all that stuff, and then you use this as like your kind of your chip for more
It's your
protein.
nacho. Like seriously, take 96 lean ground beef, some Greek yogurt, some Cholula, some pico, some lettuce, some fat-free cheese. Yes, I said fat-free cheese because I am on a 1,700 calorie cut right now.
Oh,
mix
I'd rather
that
just
together.
not have the cheese. Just do ixnay the cheese.
Yeah, I've learned to love the cheese because like I people always told me before like rinse the cheese, it helps it melt, helps
But
it get good.
are we really getting to the point where we're washing our cheese? I'm concerned.
I'm washing my cheese. It's crazy because it gets all that starch off so it doesn't clump up and it melts so much easier. And it at
I'm
least
sure
tricks
it
my
does.
brain into thinking that I'm eating cheese, and it makes the fat boy in me very happy.
I guess. I've never gotten. I mean, I've always been a skinny fuck, so like it doesn't really matter, I guess. But
So yeah, the challenge for me is I was always a big boy, and if I've learned like whether it's my protein chocolate cakes that I make or my protein desserts that I make, or just whatever little trick I can find to trick my brain into thinking you're getting what you want and it's fitting into your diet. And
Right,
it's where
right.
you need to be.
Makes sense. But okay, so yeah, the Quest chips, expensive. I will say, like, Target has the best selection of them that I've seen. So like a bunch of
Yeah.
different flavors. Kroger, I think, is a little like cheaper. At least, we have Kroger's are a little bit cheaper. And then GNC has the individual packages, which is really nice if you're like, I want to try this one, see if I like it. But they're like $3-4 per bag, which is
Yeah.
just
Oh, I
crazy
know.
on price.
See, what I do is I keep an eye out for two things. Vitamin Shop, they have like deals, like you can like get 50% discounts. So
Right,
I'll
right.
stock up when I see that, or I'll go on Amazon and you can get like big bulk purchases of it for like I would say like 180 to $2 a bag, which makes it
That's
more cost
pretty
effective that
good
way.
for those.
Like I just
Yeah.
ordered a 12 pack of the sour cream and onion ones, which are fantastic for I think it was like $22 or something like that. So
That's pretty good.
you find the deals and stock up when you can. That's how I've always done it.
Right. And yeah, that's the nice thing is they last for, months and months. Okay. So yeah,
Okay.
Quest chips. I mean, what's your take? What's your take on these? The reason I have these is because I was just doing a video before this on some of these things. The legendary pastries.
It's twofold. Okay, so if you have them just like plain, like right out the bag, you raw dog it.
Yeah.
It's pretty mid. It's like a 6.5 to a 7.5 out of 10. I will give them the break though because they say on the package you need to microwave them. But
Yes.
like
10 seconds in the microwave.
then it takes it to an eight or a 9. But my beef with that has always been a protein snack is something like I get at the gas station or when I'm on the go
Right.
or when
Right.
I'm moving or I'm busy and
This
I
is
don't have
fair.
a microwave. So Legendary is the only company I've ever given the pass on that. But if a snack is required to be microwaved, it is like disqualified in my head because I'm supposed
I
to be
love
able to
it.
get to the gas station when I'm busy and I get a quick snack, that kind of a thing.
If
Here's
you have
what-
to
you know-
prepare it, it's no longer a snack; it's a meal.
Right. That's
Exactly.
There you go.
I'll have a meal prep at that point.
I mean, I love that it has also 9 grams of fiber, which is great, and
Totally.
20 grams of protein for 180 calories.
Yes.
What I heard, now I don't know if this is, do you know if this is true? I don't know if you know. I heard, and listen, this is, I'm not sure, but that the people that used to own Quest got bought out, and they started making legendary foods. They started legendary foods,
Wait,
and they.
Quest
I
got
heard-
bought out?
The people who originally owned Quest, who started Quest, got bought by a bigger company.
I could see that because Quest, the products Quest makes, honestly, Quest is probably the top king when it comes
Right,
to.
and so they got bought by a bigger company, so they could get it out there, But the people who used to own Quest started Legendary Pastries, and they had a deal that they couldn't make protein bars. That was like part of their deal. Like you can't compete with us for a certain number of years. So then they went and made pastries, and they made the rolls and stuff because it's technically not bars.
No,
and
that makes sense.
Apparently, like the deal's gonna stop at some point, and they're going to be able to, Legendary's going to be able to make protein bars. So like that's what I heard. I don't know if that's 100% true. I heard it from a different creator. I was like, that makes sense.
Like a story
if it's true.
I could believe. Like I wouldn't.
That's
put
a story I
past
could
the
believe.
business world.
Yeah.
I tried looking it up. I couldn't find anything on it, so I was like, I don't know if that's true. But anyway, yeah, Legendary, like they make the little rolls, like the cinnamon rolls and stuff too. Like it's you microwave it. It's not bad.
Yeah, some are good.
But it is
some
expensive.
are pretty missed. I mean, it's kind of like half the point of my reviews is like some flavors are good, some flavors just aren't that good. But like the strawberry, the cinnamon roll, the chocolate roll, they're pretty damn good.
Right. Okay. So then rolls and chips. Anything? I mean, I know you do a lot of like energy drinks. I see you do like a lot of like energy drinks and stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean, like right now, like I'm clearly and obviously biased. Like I'm with EcoVision. We just released our own EcoVision energy drinks. I have my own signature fruit punch flavor coming out. I think in about a month.
Oh, nice.
Or so.
Nice.
So that'll be pretty cool. Like we put a lot of effort into those drinks. So for me to like say like, oh yeah, Top Dog energy drink is my company EcoVision.
Right.
That's pretty biased. But I would probably say like Ghost, the orange cream was a top tier one for me. The White Monster is always going to be a top 3.
White Monster's classic. That's why I have a lot of people.
I call it the Johnny Sins for an obvious reason because it's the White Monster. But no, I would probably say White Monster was my top king, and the Orange Cream Ghost was my number 2. But now, just like I said, I'm biased, and I'll personally always put EcoVision on top now.
I don't think I've tried the orange cream. I've tried a couple of other flavors.
It's good. It's really good.
I like cream soda. I like your cream sodas and stuff.
Yeah.
It's good. Like A&W has like a diet cream soda.
Do you like that?
I do like the cream soda. Like diet cream soda or like A&W?
The A&W diet cream soda.
I do like that. I like both of their root beer and their cream soda.
Their root beer is a top 3 diet soda for me. Their cream soda, it's just got this weird aftertaste to me that I just can't get down with. Here's one for you. Here's one. Top 3 diet sodas.
Top three diet sodas. I've gone. This has been. I mean, it's cycling in and out. Like, really just kind of up in the air because I keep finding ones. I'm like, oh, that's really good. But as of right, meow. I would say I keep going back to the Dr. Pepper cream soda, zero cream soda, because I really like cream sodas, and Dr. Pepper I think is better than the A&W, even though I still like the A&W cream soda.
Yeah.
And then I know Mountain Dew Code Red Zero is up there, and people hate that because it's only available in like 3 places in the whole country.
Dude, that's a top 3 drink. It needs to be put everywhere.
It's so good. Like, and it gets my daily max of Red 40. I just love everything about it.
Yeah.
So, and then the number 3 is like, I don't know. I might put I recently tried Barks zero sugar root beer, and that's really good. I finally think my stores around me started selling it.
I look at every store I go to. I look for that damn soda. I cannot find it.
I'm gonna send you just one. I'm just gonna send you one.
Like, dude, you send me one, I will make a video that day and be like, send me a gift.
I will send you one single. You send me your address. I will send you one single.
You'll have it in
Barks.
the DMs right after the podcast, brother. Oh my god, I want that drink so bad. Because I've heard everybody says that's like a top 1. That's like number 1.
It's got such a strong, how root beer has like a root flavor.
Yeah.
It's got that strong, and I love that. Like, I tried Mug, or Mug Zero, which is root beer. Very good. I like it a lot, but I think I like Barks. I like Barks more. So I guess those are maybe my top 3.
Still looking for the Mug one too. I'm still looking for that mug. I mean, that's
still have the Mug one.
Bax was
I will send you
my buddy,
2
since that was like his last
sodas.
review he ever did. I mean, I've been looking for that for ever since.
I know Baxter. Yeah, I tried that after. I remember. Yeah, like after he passed away, I saw that was his last video, and I was like, oh, well, I gotta, say
I've
recipes.
been looking
this.
ever since. I just have not been the lucky one to find it yet.
I live in Columbus, Ohio, and we're like a testing ground for shit or something, because there's always like new stuff like that, and I'm like, hell yeah, let's go.
You would think they would have that down here in Houston with how big of a metro Houston is, but I mean, with the lack of like data and self-service, I'm convinced that we're still in the Stone Ages down here.
There are so many of you in Texas.
Yeah, Houston's kind of a hub for us nowadays, honestly.
Yeah, right. It seems like everybody's moving in that general area, at least in the nutrition space.
Yeah. It's kind of like, I mean, obviously you have Alpha Land down here. It's I don't go to Alpha Land because I'm not a bodybuilder. I am literally just an ex-fat guy. That is my thing. I stay in my lane. But Alpha Land, there's a lot of like top end gyms around here, a lot of fitness and nutritional companies down here. So it's you can do a lot of collaboration content. You can bounce off people, like just kind of work in the space. It's very interesting. It's very, especially being a non-bodybuilder, being in the area, it's unique.
Well, before I move on, because there's some other things I wanted to ask you before I move on to that, any other like review things that you tried that you're like, yes, I definitely recommend it? Anything in like the protein space, fiber, protein, whatever, that sort of stuff. I'm just gonna leave it up to you.
That's kind of the thing. There's really nothing groundbreaking. It's Quest chips. Find the protein bar that you like. Diet sodas, energy drinks.
Yeah, what are your top 3? We didn't even ask you. What are your top 3 diet sodas right now?
Top 3 diet sodas, I go Code Red. Code Red's in the top 3. A&W root beer, and then my number 1 is, I'm gonna give you the basic white boy answer of Diet Coke, caffeine free. Like I drink soda until midnight every night. So the old school.
Hey, that's something I actually have access to.
Hey, there you go. There you go.
Not zero, not Coke Zero, Diet Coke?
Diet Coke. We're a Diet Coke family in this house, and I go with caffeine free because, I mean, I already have too much caffeine on a day-to-day basis anyway, so I just try to, always keep it caffeine free when I can.
I will say, the Coke Zero has a vanilla that's so good, but they stopped selling it around me, and I'm like a petty bitch about it, so I took them out of my top 3 because I'm mad.
I respect
that they don't sell it anymore around me.
You gotta send that message, Liam. You gotta send that message.
I held on to one for so long, like a case of it for so long, because they stopped selling it to a point where it expired, and like it didn't even taste as good when I drank it. I still drank that shit, obviously, but like it didn't even taste as good because it was like, older. And I was like, now I'm even sadder, like the saddest. But anywho, okay, those we get the reviews there. So I kind of want to ask you though, like during your like weight loss, like I'd love to just get some, because people, what did we talk about at the beginning? People love anecdotes, right? Like, what are some of the things that like helped you kind of sustain your weight loss? Because that's the thing, is like people lose weight, most people lose weight for a little while and then kind of rebound. So for you, like
down and up and down.
roller coaster, right? So
Yeah.
like, what are some things for you that like, helped you kind of remain on track? That's what I'm curious about.
It's kind of twofold. Like I knew early on when I started everything, like I had my various reasons for starting. But it's the old adage of I had to do something that I knew I could do for the rest of my life. Like, people ask how's keto, how's carnivore, how's the
Yeah.
Mediterranean, how's all these things. They're all fine and dandy and lovely. They'll
Right.
they'll all get you that calorie deficit in one way or the other, but can you do it for the rest of your life?
Yes.
Yep.
So that's when I started playing around with, making protein recipes, protein desserts. Like I make my chocolate cake on a regular basis. I have my protein creamies. I have all the food that I make that I love and
Yep.
enjoy that fits a healthier lifestyle for me because I know my weakness. Like the big thing for me is you have to know your weaknesses. And
Smart.
if you can learn to manage them and you can learn to live with those weaknesses and find ways to defeat them, instead of just kind of ignoring them, then you can do it for the rest of your life. Um, so I still eat all my favorite foods. I still eat my Mexican tacos. I still eat my steak. I still eat, my mashed potatoes. But I found a way to make all of them lower calorie, higher protein. Like my mashed potatoes, I do it with fat-free Fairlife, light butter, add some Greek yogurt into it, season it up to your good taste, and then you have mashed potatoes where you're still getting a good amount of carbs, but you get a little extra protein in it, and it makes it a little better
Right.
on the diet. Um, that's what I would say is the number one key. But then the number two is that a lot of people when they lose their weight, they say, okay, cool, I did it, I'm done, I can get off
Yeah.
this.
Right.
I had to set new goals for myself. So I went from 275 down to 155, and I was like, okay, where do I go from here? I wanted to get bigger. So I went on a bulk. So I went from 155 up to 200, 205 pounds. And now I'm on the way back down from that. On my current cut, I'm at 197, trying to get back down to 170. So I just kind of made it a lifestyle, and I keep looking forward of like, where can I go next? Where can I take these health goals next? So those are the two ways that I really did it to make it a lifelong change.
I think especially important is what you said about finding knowing your weakness, right? Because
Oh,
I
dude.
think a lot of it when you start is just kind of like, what if I just ignore it? What if I just don't? I'll just not do it. But
Yeah.
like for the rest of your life, that's gonna be rough. So finding ways to go. What was I'm not a huge Greg Doucette fan, but like he's got some little things that I like. He's like, find the circle diet. That's what he calls his thing, where put things into the circle where things are higher in fat, higher in sugar. Let's lower the sugar, lower the fat, more protein, more fiber, and bring it into this area where you
That
can
might be
still
the
enjoy.
only thing with that guy that I agree on.
One of the few. It's one of the few, but I do like that. It just made me think of that. Bring it into the circle. Bring it all into the circle. Find ways to still enjoy. Because if you're a sweets person, then you've got like your Ninja Creamies. If you're like some people are really into like salty things, so like potato chips are their downfall. So then you try things like that's why you try things like the Quest chips, or I don't even know. For me, like nuts and stuff, like to snack on those. At
Oh
least
yeah.
gives me
Yeah.
something similar to that. I made right here. I got some roasted lentils I made for a video, like roasted chickpeas, but lentils. It's actually pretty good. I'm
Nice.
I
surprised.
had a thing of mixed nuts. I emptied it
Yeah.
in my mouth.
See, that was actually the first thing. Like when I first started on my weight loss, before I started kind of educating myself on how to do it, that was the mistake I made of like I was gonna eat clean, I was gonna eat healthy, I was
Yeah.
going to like cut out all fast food, cut out all junk food, and I was just gonna
Yeah.
eat super clean, like nuts, cheeses, meats, and everything like that. But I would find myself going back to the cabinet every 5 minutes to get a handful of nuts, or I would go into the fridge to get a bunch of cheese. And I do that over and over again, and I'm actually putting on weight while I'm doing it. That's when I was like, okay, why am I putting on weight when I'm trying to lose weight? I'm eating super clean. So I was like, oh, okay,
Right.
there's calories. I had to learn that. I had to be like, okay, I need to get myself in a calorie deficit. I need to make sure my protein intake's high enough. That's when I learned about like the thermic effect of food and how protein has a way higher thermic effect. I was like, okay, so go super high protein, monitor your fats, make sure I get enough fiber, and that's kind of what my initial road was.
Right. So thermic effect of food, for anybody who doesn't know, is just like the amount of energy it takes to digest the calories you consume. So there's for fats, proteins, carbs all have different calories required to actually digest those and absorb those. Protein is the highest. Now
For anybody
that
that doesn't know, why are you listening to episode 38 instead of listening to episode 3? I think we went over it.
Is that where we went? Oh yeah, we did go over that. I don't remember yesterday,
to
let alone
episode
like
3.
a year ago. But yeah, so but even more important for me though is protein delays gastric emptying, meaning
Yes.
food it takes longer to digest in your stomach, meaning you feel fuller for longer. Same thing with fiber, it takes longer for just things to move through, so just you feel fuller. And this thing like keto, you cut out, okay, let's say you cut out pretty much all carbs, like you're removing like one entire macronutrient, there's a good chance you'll consume fewer calories. And there's only so much fat you can eat. There's only so much butter and avocados that you can eat before you start eating things that have protein in them, like your meats and stuff like that. So you eat more protein, you feel fuller, you lose weight. But some people, like you said, like you keep going back for cheeses and nuts and stuff like that are higher in calories, people can definitely gain weight on keto.
Dude, I tell everybody, you put me on the carnivore diet and you don't tell me to watch how much I'm eating, I will put on 50 pounds in 4 months on a carnivore diet. Like, give me a pot roast, give me a pork shoulder, give me some prime rib, like give me all them high fatty cuts of meat. I can eat a mountain of food, dude. And you give me meat, like that's why like I stick with like top sirloins, pork loins, chicken breasts, like
the leaner
meat.
Cuts.
I just go for the leaner cuts of them.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're trying to lose weight, like leaner cuts, here, do they have like 99% lean turkey in Canada, Rob? Do they have that? Is that a thing?
I'm not sure, actually.
You might be blessed if they don't, because that stuff you really have to. You got to make that stuff really special with spices and stuff to make it taste good.
They got like so yeah. Now they've just get it leaner and leaner, which is like 100% lean. It's just all just pure protein. But yeah, just going with those as opposed to like the fattier cuts, the sausages, the bacons, the thing. Like people, they like chicken thighs are great, but going to be fattier, going to have more calories. So try and stick to the leaner cuts of meat. But yeah, so I mean, I like what you said. What though? Like, I would love to get some like, give us, because it's always fun. Some of the mistakes you made along the way that you realize, oh shit. Like you just mentioned one about like, the keto and going back for the cheeses and that sort of stuff. But like, what else? What can we learn? We always talk about learning from failures here.
Oh yeah, no, my life is a prime example of learning from failures. So the first one, like I said, would be like the ideal of eating clean and thinking like, oh, as long as I eat clean, it doesn't matter how much I'm eating because I'm an overeater. That was my first big mistake. My second one was when I was trying to go through my body recomposition, because for anybody that doesn't know, I went through what's called body recomp, eat in a small calorie deficit while lifting very heavy and doing progressive overload to try to put on as much muscle as possible. When I was going through my lifting sessions, I was overtraining. Like I was lifting too much, and I actually tore my brachialis when I was. Oh
shit! Really?
Ooh.
Yeah, I tore my brachialis probably about 3 months in because I was lifting and I was like, okay, I'm feeling some pain there. That must be a good thing, No,
yeah.
It wasn't a good thing because I kept going, I kept pushing past it, and then it became a very sharp pain. And it was a partial tear in my brachialis. But actually, it was indirectly kind of one of the best things that happened to me, because whenever I was doing like a back lifting day, like a pull day, so to speak, I could never feel the muscles in my back. I kept always feeling it in my bicep. And then as soon as I tore my brachialis, I was like, okay, I can keep lifting. I just can't use my bicep at all. And that's actually what taught me on how to actually lift and engage my back.
Not the way
muscles.
I would recommend other people figure it out.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. That's 2 mistakes. 1, if you're feeling a sharp pain when you lift, stop. Go see a doctor. And 2, if you tear a muscle, maybe don't keep lifting. But
no pain, no gain. No pain. We were just
what
the same.
No pain, no hospital bill.
I was wrong. I was very wrong on that.
Did you have to get that? Do you have to get surgery on that, or did you just rest it?
I just rested it, but that pain lingered with me for about 9 months.
Damn.
Because it was like it didn't need surgery, but
so, it was a grade 2 tear.
About so, yeah.
Yeah.
And they said, you don't need surgery on it, but it's gonna hurt. You got to rest and recover it. But I was like, well, I'm 1/3 of the way into my weight loss journey and my recomp, so I'm not going to stop lifting. So I just kind of learned to work around it and avoid the pain. So that's how I did it. Probably not the best way to do it, but it ended up working out okay.
And for anybody kind of listening, because I get asked about this before, like you can lose fat and build muscle at the same time in a few like circumstances, especially like when you're early on, like you just started, like you haven't really lifted weights before. If you have like never lifted weights, like your body will start to put on muscle. And also if you have like a lot of excess body fat, that's stored energy. So your body can use that energy to build muscle. Whereas if you're already on the leaner side, like myself, I'm already kind of lean, it's better to just add calories so that my body has those calories that it can turn that into, muscle.
Anabolism and catabolism. Anabolism, the process of putting on muscle,
Yeah.
and catabolism, the process of breaking down fat, are two separate systems in the body. They can act at the same time.
Yeah. But when you become more advanced, it becomes more difficult. So generally, you do want to stick to, one, to focus on one as opposed to the other. But yeah, like you can do both at the same time, especially early on.
Yeah. Then I guess going back to that, you asked about the mistakes that I made. I think another one would be, I talk to my girlfriend about this all the time, is the scale. I still weigh myself on a daily basis strictly as a data point. But early on, I mean, I think most people in their weight loss journeys, that scale can really defeat them early on.
Yeah.
And it took me probably about 3 months of kind of understanding how the scale worked, water weight fluctuations, understanding that, did you go to the bathroom that morning? Did you have a carb heavy meal the night before? And then you also got to understand, if you weigh yourself 7 days a week, like I do, on a proper plan, you're only trying to lose about 1 to 2 pounds a week. So that means you're going to weigh yourself 7 times in a week. You're only going to see it drop 1 time in that 7 period. So you have to understand that you're going to lose a lot when you go to that scale, but you want that data point just for reference on, what you should be moving towards.
Plus, I mean, we're all men, so like, there's people who have like menstrual cycle goes up and down with that. Like,
I feel so bad for the women that ask me for advice, because it's like, you guys have it so much harder than we do. It's my heart breaks when they ask me for advice.
Oh God, I saw freaking Ryan Reed did a video recently. I don't know if you remember Ryan.
We talked about we talked about that. I remember.
But he apparently posted a video recently lambasting women going through menopause, saying that, like, essentially they just needed to work harder.
That is pretty asinine.
Yeah. But when you it's just like one of those things. Like, that's why I especially like to bring people like you, former Fat Guy Fitness, is because, for someone like myself, I've always been like, I've just always been skinny and lean. Like, I've never, it's tougher for me, like I would just eat like Cheez-Its all the time. I had a big jar of peanut butter, like the Jif, Jif, big spoon in it under the bed, just kept it there. And I just eat out of that. And like, I just never really put on any, like, it was tough. Like, it was difficult for me to, like, when I started lifting weights, I'm like, oh, I gotta eat more and more. And that was actually like difficult. So I love to bring people on just different circumstances and get your, what you went through.
And I think for anybody like in my boat, like people who are overweight, they go, oh, people like you, Liam, they think you have it so easy. Like, oh my God, you're so skinny. Like, no, it's just a different kind of battle. Like mine is a restriction battle. Yours is like, if you wanted to put muscle on, you got to put more calories into your body. But some people just can't do it. Some people don't have that appetite. They don't like to eat that much, or even then, their metabolism is naturally so freaking high that it's a difficult battle to climb.
Right. It comes down to appetite a lot. Like, I'll see people like, I have trouble eating, like, I eat so many calories, and then maybe you look at what they're eating, you're like, you're not actually eating like that many calories. It might like look like a lot, and then are you doing this on a regular basis, all that stuff. So like, a lot of times it's just, you just have this, it's just appetite regulation, and that's just kind of your genetics, which sucks because there's little you can do about it.
And that's one thing that a lot of people, I feel bad for a lot of people that don't understand early on, is that a lot of it is genetics, whether it's what is your appetite, what is your basal metabolic rate, what are your muscle insertions, what muscles on your body are predisposed to growing quicker. Like, my shoulder genetics are fantastic. My bicep and chest genetics are dog shit. Like, you learn what parts of your body win, what parts of your body lose. And, for like you said you don't have the best appetite. You might have a really high metabolism. So gaining weight is also difficult for you. For me, I could eat a 5,000 calorie meal, and then 30 minutes later, I'm thinking, hey, what's for dessert? Like, give me some more food, bro. So it's just a matter of, finding your own, like I said earlier, your personal weakness or your own issue, and just defeating it.
Right. And yeah, for anyone else, like, like who was on my side of the things, yeah, I mean, definitely like peanut butter out of the jar was my, if you're allergic to peanuts, it doesn't matter. Like sunflower butter or whatever, like it does, they're all high in calories. It doesn't matter. I would just eat right out of the jar with that. And yeah, sure, I'd eat more like of your like ultra processed foods, but I try not to go crazy with that sort of thing, make sure I'm adding in the avocados and the other
Yeah,
things that are,
those will still make you
oh,
feel like crap. They'll add the
yeah.
calories into your diet, but you're not going to be feeling the best on it.
Oh yeah, and that's and for, just in terms of like fueling your workouts, really
Hmm.
important. So like that's why always like I love a high carb diet. Man, the keto people, like it's awesome. Like if you like love low carb and stuff, I'm just like, how do you like the energy though? Like I get all my energy from I feel like I get that from carbs. If I eat just like a high fat, even high protein meal, I just feel like sluggish and tired, and I don't really want to do anything.
Yeah. No, I think I actually also going back to that mistake thing you were asking about earlier. The biggest mistake I made was that I went too low on fats because like I have to
Oh
eat
yeah,
carbs. I'm carbs all day every day, but I
yeah.
actually had days where I would literally have 8 grams of fat in an entire day.
Eight.
Oh, that's
That's
low.
how low
Eight.
I went, and my testosterone shot through the floor because of it. Like I got to the end of
Right.
my weight loss and did a blood test, and I think my testosterone was 200.
Oh wow.
It
Wow.
was really really low, and it was because I went so low on fat. My hormones weren't regulated. But it was because like I love my carbs. I want my pasta. That's where my energy came from. But I didn't
Right. Yeah.
understand the importance of fat back then. Like now on my current cut, I make sure I get 25% of my daily calories from fat, so my hormones stay
Yeah.
regulated and my testosterone's good. So if anybody out there is trying to lose weight and you're trying to manage calories, yeah, you want to go lower fat, but make sure you're getting your fat because that's what keeps you going.
So
Yeah, these
like, what was
extreme
your?
diets of
Yeah.
low fat, low carb, low
Yeah.
whatever. No, just no. Everything in moderation.
Exactly. Let's plug the
Exactly.
podcast again, everybody.
We'll just plug the
Dude,
podcast for the 16th
throughout the
time.
podcast.
Balance, guys. It's about balance in life.
So like, what was your maintenance like? What have you found like is your like maintenance calories?
Right now at 197, my maintenance is estimated at about 2450. And I'm in a fairly aggressive cut right now. I'm at 1700 calories, trying to lose about a pound and a half.
2450. So that's like 800 calories.
Yeah,
Typically if you're like 500 calorie deficit, you lose around a pound a week. It'll fluctuate and change depending on whatever,
Yeah.
but something like that. So yeah, I mean that's not crazy. Once you get to 1,000 calories, it's tough when you get to like 1,000 calories. You're
Oh,
gonna be
yeah.
pretty damn hungry.
That's why I found like for me, like that 800, 850 mark is the best for me because I can get the dieting process over quicker that way, but I still have
Yeah.
enough room to where I can hit my protein, I can hit my fiber, and I can hit my fat goals. And as long as I can hit those numbers, there's going to
Right.
be about a 4 or 5 hour period in the day where I'm not happy. I'm not enjoying life because I've committed to the hunger through that time. But I've learned how to space my meals out throughout the day to where I don't go to bed hungry. I'm not irritable. I'm not crashing on energy, that kind of thing.
Because I mean, I've never really had a trouble with like the low fat thing. I think because my maintenance calories when I've tracked, it was between like 32 and 3,500,
Oh my
somewhere in
God.
there. Yeah, that's I mean, so for me to gain weight, I was eating like 4,000 calories.
Holy cow. Oh, God.
Over 4,000 calories to actually put on like any decent size. So if I go into like 2,500, that's like probably close to 1,000 calorie deficit for me.
Yeah.
So like even then, I mean 25, I'm still getting enough fat to like for my hormones and shit like that.
Mhm.
But that's again, we comes down to appetite regulation and just metabolism. Like
Yeah.
we have our game nights here, and I'm gonna go get another meal. I gotta go get another meal, and you guys are just still
Yeah.
sitting there like not eating. Like how are you not? Like what is going on? I need more. I just have a
You're
big
getting
plate
up
of
for
just
food
random
every
things.
like 10
Every
minutes.
hour, like once an hour, I gotta get up. I gotta have a fucking meal.
If I unleash myself, man, that's me. Like when me and my girlfriend first started dating, and I was on my bulk, I was at about 3,400 calories a day, and I was like, "Yep, I could eat all day, like just go, 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 go." And
That's
then I would still get to the end of the night and be out of calories and go, "Man, I want to keep eating right now, but I can't because I'm tapped out."
Oh, so yeah, it comes down to genetics. The person. I mean, I'm also. I mean,
Well-
like it's 6'3".
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you're about
it
4 inches
even
taller
goes
than
even
me.
further than that because like we got Liam here who's in the skinny boat. We've
Yeah.
got former fat guy fitness who's in the former fat guy boat.
Yep.
I'm in the genetics where it was born with like mental health problems, and so my problem comes down to medication,
Mhm.
and the medication that I'm taking will determine like if I'm getting hungrier or maybe
Yeah,
it makes me
that's a
not
big thing.
hungry.
And a lot of people are. I hear from a lot of people, a lot of comments. People talk about like, I'm taking this medication, increases hunger.
Yep.
You know, does this, does that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right now I'm on a medication that like is taking my hunger away. That's why you don't see me snacking anywhere near as much.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. No, I get
Yeah.
that 100%. I mean, actually, one thing for me when I started my weight loss, I was also, because I don't know if you saw this, Lamb. I was a fifth a day drinker, a 2 pack a day smoker.
Oh, really?
Uh,
I didn't see that.
I
Wow.
smoked 2 ounces of weed a month. That was me until I was 29. And then I started cutting out all the vices and everything like that. And I first cut out the weed because, that gave me the munchies and it made me want
Oh,
to eat
yeah,
all the
yeah,
time. So
yeah.
I cut that out. So I had the nicotine to suppress the appetite. So, that was my go-to friend. But then I quit smoking cigarettes and my appetite, oh my God. Like I did not
Wow.
understand the effect that had on my appetite. And it was brutal. It took me quite a while to get that under control.
Man. And that's the thing is like when we talk about like, oh, it's calories in versus calories out, people that comes, I've got a lot of comments from people like, oh, you're just being rude and mean. And like, I'm just like, you're just discounting all these other things. I'm like, I'm really not trying to discount that. I'm trying to just be like, listen, like the laws of thermodynamics apply to all of us. Okay.
Yeah.
But like, because of all the, but hormone regulation, medications, your
Yeah.
genetics, all of these things can make it very easy to lose weight or very difficult. And
Yep.
anywhere in between.
I have a friend who said it best, I think, in that weight loss and calories in, calories out. It's a simple idea, but it's
Yeah.
not easy. It is a complicated equation. There's a lot that goes into it,
Right, but it's for me. I always say it's like kind of like golf. Like, okay, get this ball into that hole. All right, in a few strokes. Like, oh, that's easy. Oh, no.
Yeah,
Golf's
12
actually
strokes
really
later.
fucking difficult when you start playing. Oh shit, I suck at this, and it takes a long time. Like, it's simple but not easy. So yeah, it's trying to get, but also we make videos that are like a minute long, 90 seconds long. So it's tough to get all that across.
Yeah.
To people
It really
in a minute video. Okay. Former fat guy fans, we're gonna play our regularly occurring series game, which by that I mean we do it once in a while when we remember, which is overrated, underrated, other
It's like
things.
4 episodes old.
It's like 4 episodes at this point. Okay, so overrated, underrated, whatever else you say. Rob, what are you gonna get first?
Okay. Barbecue flavored Quest chips.
Barbecue flavor.
Just
Barbecue
because
flavor.
it's Quest, it's going to be underrated, even though they're the greatest thing ever. Quest
Okay.
can't be beaten.
Fair enough.
What about intermittent fasting? Overrated, underrated?
That's a tough one. I'll go ahead and give it overrated because there's no magical properties to intermittent fasting, in my
Right.
opinion. It's just a calorie restriction tool that I think is effective, but it's
Some people like it a lot. Like it really,
love
because
it.
it's
I
simple,
use it.
right?
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, I just don't eat during this time, and then
Yeah.
it makes it tougher for me to overconsume calories. Boom, there you go. If you like simple, there you go.
Yeah,
But like,
absolutely.
also, are you going to do it for the rest of your life, right? Like that's kind of my
Yeah.
thing. Is like, if you're doing the rest of your life,
treat
awesome.
it as a calorie restriction tool where I just go a certain portion of the day without eating, and I'll fill it up with diet sodas, and that's all.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, if you like it, awesome. But I guess. All right. What else you got?
Drinking unflavored water.
Unflavored water.
Unflavored water.
Here's my answer to that. What is that? I would go overrated.
You mean from like the toilet?
If it's not Diet Coke or if it's not like a flavor packet or something, I ain't drinking it. Like my girlfriend hates me for that. She's like, just drink regular water. I'm like, no.
Oh man, the just drink water comments whenever I have diet soda. We're water gang. Cool, be a water gang. I don't give a shit. I'm drinking my
do you,
fucking
boo-boo.
Diet
Do you.
Dr. Pepper. Oh, okay. Oh, what about? All right. How about fat-free cheese? Overrated, underrated?
This is gonna be the hot one here. It's underrated in my opinion. It is 45 calories, 9 grams of protein. That's almost the protein
But
level.
it tastes like sadness. It tastes like drywall fucked a cardboard box,
Rinse
and they
it.
had an ugly little baby, and it was fat-free cheese.
Rinse it, put it in a burger bowl, and let it get all melty, and then your brain will go, cheese. It's that. I know.
Just low fat. It's still like 70, 80 calories.
I respect that. Like
I
reduced
can
fat
deal
cheese.
with low fat.
I'm still going underrated because I'll do that to pump up the protein when I'm really down bad.
All right. Well, I'm gonna ask another one on that topic because we're close to it. Cottage cheese, overrated, underrated?
Oh, get out! Overrated. I had a 2-month period where I was tagged in every cottage cheese
Oh,
recipe on
that's where I'm
TikTok.
at. There's every fucking video is cottage cheese bread, cottage cheese ice cream,
I
cottage
quit
cheese,
doing them.
cottage cheese.
I quit doing them because I got tagged so many times. I was like, guys, I hate cottage cheese, and I'm not going to sit here and torture myself on the internet. I'm not going to be known as the cottage cheese reaction guy, so I quit doing them altogether.
Ah, fair. That's fair. Like
Overrated.
even for someone like me who likes, I eat good culture cottage cheese with a spoon right out of the tub.
Okay,
I like cottage cheese. Yes, I'm weird. Even for me, I will still say overrated in the nonsense we have built ourselves over the last several
Really
months.
quick, if we eliminated all that nonsense and we just took it as the fundamental food that it is an underrated food. You get a fat-free version,
Yes.
low cal, high protein, mix it with some seasonings, make yourself a sauce out of it. Like you can
Yeah.
do things with it to make it okay. Like Nikita Fair's buffalo chicken burrito recipe that uses cottage cheese.
Oh yeah.
Is one
That's
of the
good.
greatest meals I've ever had in my life. But all this, like you said, the nonsense that we're doing with it. I'm sorry, just get out of
Just
here.
like it's not ice cream. It's not. It's not fucking ice cream.
It's not cookie dough. It's not fudge. It's none of these things.
Oh, I did the cookie dough.
It's not cookie dough.
It's all. It tastes like almond flour. It's so bad. Well, it's okay. It's not horrible, but it's not good. It's not good.
Don't package me almond flour and tell me it's cookie dough because the fat boy in me wants to throat punch you when you do that. Like don't do that.
And like cottage cheese has got casein protein, very slow digesting. You know, like that's great. But just calm down with all this other stuff. Anyway.
Anything for the clicks, bro. Anything for
I
the clicks.
guess. Holy shit! I'm gonna make cottage cheese, and people are gonna flip out.
I almost choked on my diet soda on that one.
Wait, I've never heard of that before. What is that? That's just where you take a spoon and you eat it out of the fucking tub.
Dude, you gotta do that as a troll video.
I'm gonna do that. Next is cottage cheese.
Oh, man.
Shit.
Oh man.
That's good
Running
stuff.
as an exercise.
Running as an exercise for me, overrated.
Overrated.
I'm a walker. Like I'll burn my calories by walking. I'm less hungry when I do that. Like I had a period where I ran 3.5 miles every day. You know, about 5 days a week. I was starving every time I did it, but I burned the same amount of calories as if I just went and walked that 3.5 miles. Like, no, I'm all right. I'll walk.
Yeah, I don't like. We've talked about it many times. I'm not a runner, but like if other people like it, awesome. Ooh, fiber gummies. So like your Smart Sweets and your Lilies and that sort of stuff. What do you think about that?
No, I'm all right. Like trust me, I get my fiber in as much as I can, but those tear my stomach up pretty badly.
Oh yeah, really? You get that? That
Really?
seems like some people
Like
get that.
I have 40 to 60 grams of fiber on a daily basis, but for whatever reason, those gummies hit me different.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I wonder why.
I
Because
don't
most
know
of them
why.
are just soluble corn fiber, you know, like that's because that's the cheap source, right? You know, so like it's just corn fiber from corn, which you wouldn't think. That's weird. You know what I tried recently though is Starburst now has fiber gummies. Very good. Pretty. You didn't like those?
They were okay. They weren't like, oh my god, let me get more of those. But I would get them and be
like they're
yeah,
still fiber gummies.
Yeah, they're good.
But in the fiber gummy scale, I actually kind of like them, and I like that they had a little bit less fiber. They weren't like 25 grams of fiber; it was like 8 or 10. And I was like,
I think why I like those actually.
I saw one that was like 30 grams of fiber. I don't remember the brand name.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm alright on that.
I have to try. Mr. Beast just came out with fiber gummies. That's my next review thing. Going to be my next. People like the speed reviews that I've been doing. Yeah, so he came out with his own fiber gummies. I'm going to try those.
Huh.
But anyway.
No, I'll have to give those a try too. Actually.
I'd order some, but they probably don't ship to Canada.
Very good chance, Rob.
Canada, overrated or underrated?
Ooh. Depends. Like
since you can't ship to them, they're overrated. That's
I would say overrated on that. And then like when I hear about some of the cost and the pricing up there and the economics up there, I'd probably have to go overrated, bro. The people are underrated. The economics are overrated. Because if you can survive up in Canada's winters, bro, you're an underrated human being. You deserve a freaking medal.
To all our Canadian listeners, you may feel great now that you're underrated.
You are so underrated. You deserve to know.
All two of you.
You listeners. And once he can ship to, once Ecovision can ship to Canada, oh, there you go.
I get that question daily. I feel so bad telling people we don't ship to Canada, man.
I think we're kind of used to it, so I don't feel bad.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of a thing. We're just like, yeah, they probably don't ship to Canada.
I don't know, I think
Ecovision.
Echovision, I'll give you the most biased answer ever. I think we're underrated, and there's a reason why I partner with Echovision is because we do everything on a cost-effective basis. Our creatine, we give it for almost 20 cents a serving. The flavors are fantastic. They're third-party tested. The protein powders, like we do it on $1 a serving basis if you get the 60 serving tub. When you compare that to companies like Rise or Ghost or other companies like that, they're coming in at $1.75 a serving, sometimes over $2 a serving.
I got the Rise marshmallow puff. That shit was even at Walmart was expensive.
Oh, I know. No, don't get me wrong. Rise makes a good protein powder, but they're very expensive. I love Echovision because we make a good product. They listen to the athletes and our inputs, and they're cost effective for people. And that is one of the most important things to me. I mean, guys, cost, macros, taste. That's why it's my thing. So I'm going to go.
Well, geez, you may as well just drop your promo code while you're at it.
What's
All right, it's code former, guys. It's code former.
I mean, if it reminds you to take your creatine, getting it flavored, then go for it, because that's the toughest part about creatine.
Absolutely.
Is just remembering to take it.
Yep, absolutely. And honestly, if you're like a really cost-effective person, just go on to Amazon, get the NutriCost unflavored creatine. It's stupid cheap. Creatine should not be expensive. If a company's charging you $60 for 30 servings, laugh at that company.
Did you see my video on the creatine, the women's creatine?
Oh my god, that pissed me off so much. Like, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, BCAAs and collagen, like, please go bend over a barrel, bro. Like,
it was 1 gram of
how insulting
BCAAs.
can you make the pink tax? The pink tax is already insulting enough to women, and now we have to like straight up just laugh.
And
at
they
them.
got a woman to do the ad, and I was like, this is so bad.
I don't like shaming people or calling people out to like that kind of a level, but like for her, like she should be ashamed of herself. That was.
And the start of the video was creatine was made by man for man, which
guess who made that creatine? A freaking man.
I mean, made by man. Like I could do an hour-long podcast just on that tiny segment. Like it was so good.
Like they should be ashamed of themselves. Creatine should be affordable. That's the point of it.
And it was, and the thing was, they said it so it's the same price as the men's creatine, but it's less. You get less in the product, so it is more expensive.
Mm-hmm. See, people don't look at that. You got to look at everything on a per serving basis. That's why.
Yeah. So you look at the price. You're like, oh, it's the same price, so I'll get it. Like, no, you're getting like 30% less product.
Exactly.
Oh gosh,
man.
that was. I was like, I don't believe this shit. That's so. Yeah. So just get creatine. Creatine, yes, one of the only supplements I'd recommend. Yep. I think, especially if you're working out, great. Try and remember to take it. Oh.
Okay, I got one last one for you.
What you got,
Liam? Overrated or underrated?
Overrated, underrated. Me.
I'd go underrated.
Or trash.
No, I'd go underrated on that. Like, you should be like a 2 or 3 million follower, bro. Like.
Listen, I had 1 million followers. I feel overrated as fuck right now.
Oh, hell no, dude. No, you deserve 2 or 3. With some of the people I see that have 10 million followers, you deserve more than that. You were one of the first guys I actually did collabs with on TikTok, dude, and I had a blast doing them.
That was fun. Yeah, we did some protein bar ones and stuff. Yeah. That's fun. That was fun, man.
You're always underrated in my book, man. You're a good dude. You're a good dude.
Oh, thank you. I try and keep it fun.
I would say that for both of you guys and in moderation. I think you guys are both underrated.
All in moderation. Plug again and underrated.
I think we hit 7 on the podcast. I'm pretty proud of that.
What's the CTP on in moderation?
CTP is a 4. That's the perfect score on CTP. You cannot score better than a 4.
Oh shit!
But that doesn't sound like it's an in moderation score.
It doesn't matter. We still got a perfect score. That's what matters.
That's the important part.
Okay. Well, where can people find your channels?
I'm predominantly on TikTok. I'm mainly to TikTok, former Fat Guy Fitness, but I'll be making some more Instagram and YouTube content. So if you guys want to check me out on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, former Fat Guy Fitness.
Nice.
And use his promo code.
If you want to. Only if you need it, though. Like, I'll never have anybody buy anything.
Unless you're Canadian, in which case you're screwed. Sorry.
Then you're screwed. You're totally screwed.
No Echovision for you.
Yeah.
Well, at least you get free healthcare. We'll take it.
Hey,
at least if you tear your bicep, you can go get it fixed.
Yeah, you can.
We can actually go no pain, no gain because when we do get the pain, hey,
go get it
we're covered.
Yeah,
man, great.
Hey, wasn't that a great time? Listen to the podcast. You were just, I'm assuming you were just listening to In Moderation. So if you go ahead and hit the 5-star button, is that a thing? The like button?
That's a thing. Yep.
The like button on
5 stars.
YouTube. If you're on YouTube, hit the like button, not the dislike button. That's a bad button. The
Bad
like
button.
button. Bad
Don't
button.
touch.
Hit all,
Don't
so
touch
hit
it.
all the other buttons. The share. You can go check
Subscribe,
out
all those things.
subscribe. Go check out our Patreon. We do have a Patreon. It's free to join if you want, or you could give us some money. That'd be really cool, like $1 or $2. It doesn't matter. Whatever you have.
That's where you'll find all the news for this.
We're super appreciative. You can find all sorts of other stuff there. We do giveaways, I think, sometimes,
Sometimes.
all that good. Yeah, absolutely. So, peace.